There is one single setting in Google Ads that I guarantee, if you adjust correctly, will increase your shopping ads profit. I'm talking about your bid strategy and how one simple tweak to your bidding settings could net you a big increase in your Google Shopping Ads profit. Today, I'm going to do a screen share tutorial to show you how to quickly see if your shopping ads is leaving money on the table. Then I will show you how to make one tweak to your bidding settings that will capture that missed revenue and grow your shopping ads profitably. I know this strategy works because I've been running an e-commerce Google Ads agency for 10 years now, and this has worked across every Google Ads account I've done it on. Alright, with that said, let's dive into the tutorial. Alright guys and girls, so the first thing you want to do is obviously be inside your Google Ads account, and we are here on the all campaigns screen, so just make sure you have all campaigns selected right up here. And then we want to go and make sure that we have a nice long date range, so I'm just going to select a couple of months. Let's do the last 2 months just to make sure I have got a long date range and plenty of data here. Now the next step is we need to pull up some very important columns. So just follow along with me now, and then I'm going to explain to you what these columns actually mean. So modify columns, and under this section you want to go all columns, scroll down to competitive metrics, and we want to find 3 columns, guys: impression share, and then search lost IS due to rank, and then search lost IS due to budget. Now don't worry, I'm going to explain what these mean in just a moment, but for now I want you to make sure you've got these 3 columns showing. Here's your column list here, and I normally like to make sure that these columns here are in this exact order because it makes it really easy to see on our next analysis, right? So cost, I like to have it there, then conversion value afterwards, after the cost, and then conversion value over cost, conversion value over cost, which is your ROAS, and then the 3 search impression share columns here. So apply that, and then what you should have is your columns over here. Now these are the columns that we are going to use to tell us how to modify our bid strategy setting to make more money. But before I tell you how to do that, you first need to understand what these columns are and how to interpret them. So I have a handy diagram over here. Let's look at that. Okay, so these are the columns here: search impression share, search lost IS due to rank, search lost IS due to budget. The IS stands for impression share. This here means impression share. So let me just explain to you what this means first. So search impression share. What this means is, of the impressions that you could have got in this campaign, how many impressions did you actually get? So here for this example campaign, it was 66.78%. So that means out of the 100 impressions that you were eligible for, you got 66.7% of those impressions, right? So you showed up 66 or 67% of the time if you see this under search impression share. So in other words, it's like your share of market, your share of voice for the impressions you could have shown for, and this is just for the impressions you could have shown for, so just for the keywords that you're targeting in that campaign. What percentage of those keywords did you actually show impressions for? And when you're losing impression share, which, you know, unless it's a brand campaign, you're always going to be losing some impression share, and actually 66% impression share is really good for non-brand. I normally look for 30 to 40% impression share as my benchmark for a non-brand campaign, and I usually look for at least 95% for a branded campaign. But anyway, when you see you are losing impression share, what do you do? So this is what it means here, like what's your percentage share of the market, and what do you do next? When you see you're losing stuff, you check the other 2 columns. So that is then where we come over to the other 2 columns. So let's do these one by one. Search lost IS due to rank. These 2 columns tell you why this isn't 100%. They tell you the reason you are losing impression share. So that's why it's called search lost IS, search lost IS, and there's 2 reasons: rank and budget. And if you do the maths, you will notice that the 67 plus the 31 plus the 2.5, that will add up to 100, right? So anything that's missing here will be in one of these 2 columns, so it will be missing for one of 2 reasons: search lost IS due to rank. So this is telling you that for the impressions you lost, or for the impression share that you lost, how much of that was due to ad rank. And there's a few different components of ad rank, but the thing that you can affect most reliably and most quickly is your CPC bid. If you increase your CPC bid, then you will decrease your search lost IS due to rank. So if you see you are missing search impression share and it is because of rank, in order to get more impression share, you have to increase your CPC bid. But how do you increase your CPC bid when you're using automated bidding strategies? Well, if you're doing e-commerce, then I do think that most of the time you should be running a target ROAS bid strategy. And assuming you are running a target ROAS bid strategy, then the way you increase your CPC bid, you make the system spend more to increase your ad rank, which decreases your lost impression share due to rank, which increases your impression share. So you decrease your ROAS target. When you decrease your ROAS target, you're telling Google, hey, you can increase the CPC bids. Google responds to a target ROAS decrease directly by increasing your CPC bids. So very simply put, in order to, so if we're losing market share and it's because of rank, then decrease your target ROAS. That is the action you want to take. And the other reason you could be losing impression share is due to budget. So here you can see 2.5% of impression share is being lost due to budget. Now, what does this mean? This means that for the impression share, the impressions or impression share that you lost, how much of it was due to your daily budget. So this one's really simple. If you're seeing a number there that you're losing search impression share due to budget, then you increase your daily budget and you will just get that extra percentage at the same ROAS. So when you do this one, when you are losing search impression share due to rank, you improve the situation by decreasing your target ROAS. And this will reliably increase your search impression share, right? So if you want to make this number go down and make more revenue, then you need to decrease your ROAS target. Now, obviously there's a big trade-off there because you can't always decrease your ROAS target. But what you can do is you need to look at your ROAS first. And if your ROAS is way above your profitability level and it's really, really profitable, then you can afford to decrease your ROAS target, still be profitable, and then reduce this number, increase your share of market, and make more profitable revenue, right? So in this instance here, this advertiser, they actually break even at about 2x ROAS. You need to know your break-even point. And then everything above 2x ROAS is actually profitable for them. So they can actually afford to let this come down a bit. They could let it come down to 3.5, maybe at a push 3. I wouldn't go below 3. Whatever is your break-even ROAS, guys, add 1 on top of that, and I would never go lower than that. So if you break even at 2, I would never go lower than 3, right? But even with that having been said, these guys have a bit of room to decrease the target ROAS. At 3.5 would still be profitable for them. And if they went to 3.5 or 3, it would still be profitable. And then what would happen is this number would come down, this number would go up, and they would see more impressions, more clicks, and more sales. So when you see these numbers here and you see this number is good enough, the ROAS is good enough, you just decrease your target ROAS, one simple setting change, and you make more profit. It's as easy as that. You make more revenue. And then search loss IS due to budget. The cool thing about this is, once again, when you're running target ROAS and target ROAS is working for you, if you see any number at all here and your ROAS is profitable, so in this case 4x ROAS is very profitable, we could just get 3% more impressions, clicks, and conversions and revenue, 3% more just by raising the daily budget. It's that simple. And the cool thing with this number is there's no trade-off. You raise the daily budget, the conversion, the ROAS doesn't have to go down. The ROAS will stay about the same. I mean, there'll be some variation because there's always variation. The ROAS never stays exactly the same. But raising your daily budget when you see a number in this column will just get you more impressions, clicks, spend, conversions, and no trade-off on ROAS. So it's just instant more money, guys. Pull up these columns. If you see your ROAS is on track and it's profitable and you are losing anything due to budget, raise your budgets and you'll make more money instantly. And if you see your ROAS is very profitable and you are losing impression share due to rank, then you have to kind of, it's a bit more of a pros and cons situation, right? Like if your ROAS is 10x and you break even at 2x, it's really, really simple equation. You just drop your ROAS target. You can go down to 8x ROAS target, still be wildly profitable, and then you get more impression share, you get more conversions. So that is the equation. That is how this works. And what I want to do now is just show you an example. So let's say, for example, this campaign here, we decide, oh, its impression share is a bit low. 13% is a bit low. Remember, I normally look for about 30 to 40% as a benchmark for a impression share for a non-branded campaign. And by the way, guys, this works for shopping ads, for Performance Max ads. Actually, this works for search campaigns as well. So any campaign type that goes into Google search results, search shopping, Performance Max with a feed attached, right? So this is going to work for all your e-commerce campaigns. If you see a low impression share, figure out the reason why, and then change the relevant setting to fix it. So in this case, 4.29 is a very profitable ROAS for this advertiser. This is an account I'm auditing, by the way. This isn't a current client of mine. If I showed you any of the accounts for current clients of my agency, you wouldn't see these problems happening because we're on top of this stuff. But I also do audits for prospective clients, and this is a prospective client I am auditing at the moment, so we're seeing some issues here. And what I'm going to recommend them on the audit is immediately raise the daily budget on this campaign by more than 12%. And then that is just going to get them more than 12% more spend, revenue, conversions at the same ROAS, no trade-off. And then I'm going to recommend that they decrease the target ROAS in this campaign down to maybe about 3.5. We want to make sure it's still profitable, and bringing it down to 3.5 is still way above their break-even point. And bringing it down to 3.5 will decrease this number here, the 75% that they're losing because the bids are too low. If we reduce this down to 3.5 target ROAS, then the bids will increase, the target ROAS will come down, the impression share will go up, and they'll make more money. It's as simple as that, guys. So in order to enact this, and you do need to be on target ROAS for this, guys, like if you don't have a target ROAS enabled in your campaign and you are using, let's say, maximize conversion value, then you can't change the target ROAS, right? You need to control it a different way, and this stuff doesn't really apply if you're not running target ROAS. You need to be running target ROAS. I recommend running target ROAS for anyone who's doing e-commerce Google Ads and has enough conversion volume, 50 plus conversions, ideally within a 1 month period. Hey guys, before we continue on with the tutorial, I wanted to let you know that if you are an e-commerce business and need help getting more profit out of Google Ads, I have something that might help. It's called a custom Google Ads growth plan. Me and my team come in and audit every nook and cranny of your Google Ads account. We then turn this into a strategy document that you can implement yourself to boost your revenue profitably. With the strategy document, you also get a 1-hour consultation with a Google Ads expert from my team where you can ask any questions you want about the plan or your ads account. After you implement the custom Google Ads growth plan that we give you, I guarantee you will see profitable revenue growth in your e-commerce Google Ads account or your money back. If that sounds tempting, hit the link in the description below this video. You'll be able to book a meeting so we can find out if a custom Google Ads growth plan is right for you and your e-commerce business. All right, let's get back to the tutorial. Okay, so let's just show you how to do this. You come into the campaign, you go campaigns, you go settings, and then you come down to here, and you can see in this case the client actually isn't running a target ROAS. So in the audit, I'm just going to tell them you need to be running target ROAS. And then in this case, their average ROAS was just like 4.3, and we want to bring it down. So I would go with a target ROAS. Actually, in this instance, because they're switching to target ROAS for the first time, if you're switching to the target ROAS for the first time, then I wouldn't deviate from the previous average ROAS by more than about 30%. So their previous average ROAS was about 430%, 4.29, 4.3. So I wouldn't deviate from that too much initially. So what I would do first is go 400, and then I would save that, and then I would let this just sit for at least 30 days so that the system can optimize and get used to it. Once it's got used to it, once it has learnt how to bid effectively at a 400% target ROAS, then I would next take it down to a 350% ROAS, and then let it optimize, let it learn for 30 days, and then jobs are good on, as we like to say in the UK, it will be done. If you are already running a target ROAS, let's say you already had this ticked and it was, at a 430% target ROAS, and it's established, it's got more than 50 conversions, maybe it's got a few hundred conversions in there, then I would say you're safe to just move in one step straight down to whatever you want to go to. In this case, it was 350% ROAS. So a couple of options for you there, but you do need to be running target return on ad spend. And then the other thing to do is, so that would be one setting I change. And then I would also, so let's not do that. Continue without saving. And then in this campaign, we saw that they were losing about 12% impression share due to budget. So I would just make sure this goes up by more than 12%. I would actually just put it way up, right? Because when you have a target ROAS enabled and the target ROAS is working in your campaign, it should be the target ROAS that limits your spend, not the budget. So I want to put it up by more than 12% daily budget, because I'm going to put in a target ROAS and then it will be the target ROAS limiting the spend. So then you have like a target ROAS that limits the spend around here, right? You want your daily budget to be like here. You want it to be way higher, or considerably higher than your actual average spend per day, and you want that little gap in between the average spend per day and your budget, assuming that you have a target ROAS working. When you have a target ROAS working, you just put the daily budget a bit higher, and then it has this gap. It has room to spend more on those random days where more people are searching, on those random days where you can get more sales. Then having the daily budget higher than the actual spend allows you to capture those sales. If you don't set the daily budget up here, then what's going to happen is you're going to start seeing, you will start losing impression share due to budget again. So I do recommend you have those columns up at all times in your account. So again, let's go back out to the all campaign screen. Have these columns always active in your account. I have these columns active in every single account I work on. They are always on my screen because I always need to pay attention to them. Have them always on your screen as well when you're inside your Google Ads account. And if you ever start seeing that you're losing impression share due to budget, then you need to know. Then you can go in and check the budget, check the ROAS, increase the budget, assuming the ROAS is good. And then once you have made a change like this, once you have changed this setting, one common mistake I see is people just don't wait long enough. If you wait a few days, it's not immediately going to go to the ROAS you want. You need to wait ideally around 30 days or 50 conversions. So let's just keep it really simple for you. Wait 30 days. So you adjust the bids and budgets based on this method that I've given you here, and then you can wait 30 days before you make any more changes to your target ROAS, right? You don't want to be fiddling with the target ROAS all the time. That will do more harm than good, because it needs time to learn and optimize. Every time you change the target ROAS, it goes back into learning mode, right? So you don't want to be changing the target ROAS all the time. But within the 30 days, I would say it is okay to change your daily budget, but don't change it by more than 20% per week. So the daily budget is a bit more flexible, especially if you don't do more than a 20% change. So if you change your target ROAS, wait at least 30 days before changing it again. But within that month, you can change the daily budget, and I do recommend you do that if you see you are still losing impression share due to budget and your ROAS is good. Then it's okay to change the budget within that 1 month period. If you got some value out of this video, then you might like to check out this video right up here. In this video, I go through 3 additional tactics that you can use to boost your e-commerce Google Ads revenue by anywhere from 60 to 100%. The cool thing is that these are all things you can do right away in your Google Ads account to see a nice juicy return within 30 days of implementing the strategy. I hope to see you on the next one, guys. See you later.